y'all, I'm Aaron, and welcome to my channel, GrowWaco. I'll be taking you through my backyard garden journey as I plant, grow, and hopefully eat through each season here in Waco, Texas. Now, Waco will freeze you in the winter, blow everything you've built away in spring, burn everything to the ground in summer, and fall, that can be a tricky season. It can be scorching, freezing, or nice. My purpose is to share my passion as I learn to garden through trial and error. I'm by no means an expert, and I'm just sharing my gardening journey. So join me as I fail, succeed, and just try to figure out how to grow in Waco. So this is a great starting example of just what can happen in Waco. It is April 6th in Waco, Texas, and by now it's pretty warm, but we have a shock. As you can tell, all of my plants are covered up. It was supposed to get down to, I believe, 39 last night. So we had to improvise, and last minute we had to come out here and try to cover up our plants that were told it was only going to go down to 50 from now on. Well, as nature here in Waco likes to do us, it decided, let's get close to freezing. So the eggplants here, my wife spent some time putting buckets down, covering the buckets with trash bags, taping them. This was completely unexpected, so this was an improvised job. This is what we're working with, and there's some of our melons. Looks like the covers blew off of them because it is spring and it's like a tornado every day here in Waco. So those were blown off. I don't know, we'll see if it has any cold weather damage. The melons do not like cold. The watermelons over here look like they're still covered up. From the windstorm that happened and knocked over our fence, you could see our fence is leaning right there. It also blew our trampoline out of our yard into the neighbor's yard. So I disassembled it when it ended up over the fence over there. And I used the mat, as you can see, as a tarp. This is where the zucchini is in our attempt to cover it up. One of our tomatoes tops got blown off, but hopefully it's established enough. We'll see. So this is it on April 6th, and I'm in a hoodie. So it's cold out here. Unexpected. But I will show you what happens after the cold spell is over. It's supposed to be for a few more days. And now comes the fun process of uncovering all the work we did the night prior. My wife and two kids were kind enough to unwrap our presents. So let's take a look at just how well our plants did. All right, everybody, we are gonna take a look at the garden and see how well our makeshift cold weather protection held up. We've already taken it off, and it's actually nice today. So, like I said, I think it was like 38, 39 degrees last night, and we covered up our plants with some makeshift buckets that we had. Just kind of laying around, and some cold weather blankets to put over it. So here's the the hot peppers, and these things are looking good. They don't look damaged at all. These are the ones that I had, the buckets that we got from the nurseries where we buy our plants. Just kind of some of those laying around. The cucumbers don't look too happy. They look a little wilted. These were new plants. And remember, cucumbers like it hot. They don't really like it if it's gonna get below 60 degrees, from what I understand. But they do like it hot. The tomatoes Tomatoes are looking good. These were established, so their root systems had already kind of gotten in there. So I wasn't too worried about them. Now we didn't cover the leafy greens. Back to the tomatoes. Tomatoes I think can handle around 50 without any real damage. Leafy greens, they can handle cold. Some of them can even handle frost. These tomatoes looking good. The marigold's looking all right. That marigold's kind of struggling, but the leaves are looking green. The bell peppers, we had 17. We placed this kind of flimsy, kind of thin cold weather tarp. It's super thin. I was kind of leery of it, but we put that over it. And I don't see any damage. He looks a little funky, but so far everything's looking good, looking good. This is a relief. The beans, we covered those up as well. They're kind of looking, you can see some of this browning of the leaves going on here. I gotta tell you, the times that I've tried to grow beans in Waco, haven't really had a lot of success. Zucchini beds, the zucchinis are looking great. We covered this up with that same kind of tarp, cold weather tarp. We also put the trampoline mat over this, and everything looks pretty good. Zucchini doesn't like cold weather either. So these guys I was a little worried about. This is cool. The watermelon looks like it survived. Watermelon likes hot, hot, hot. But the cool part is these seedlings, these sunflower seedlings. It looks like they all made it. Usually, seedlings like this are a little more susceptible when it gets cold. So everything's looking good. Here's our eggplants right over here. We covered those up with a bucket and tape, as you can see from the earlier part of this video. They look a little droopy, but they're not upset because of the cold last night. Now these, the brassicas, the leafies, they can handle the cold. Potatoes, didn't cover those up, they're fine. The melons, they like hot. So we covered these up. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. By the way, we did get a few volunteer potatoes coming up in this bed. That's from when I put compost down earlier in the bed. All right. So the asparagus, some of it's looking all right, some of it's looking a little thin. You can barely see it right there. We got some seeds coming up. I forget what I planted. It looks like a bean though. Yeah, it is a bean, some kind of a bean. All right, beans put nitrogen into the soil, so it's always good to have those. Corn looks great. Corn doesn't care at all. And it looks like we might even have, I don't know if you can see that, there's some seeds coming up all around. Maybe that's the loofah. Maybe it's corn, I don't know. But hey, everything's looking good. No damage from the cold. That is a win. So what did we learn today? That you can take these leftover pots that you get every time you spend too much money on plants at the nursery. You can take them, like I'm gonna take this, plop that sucker right over, put dirt to cover up the ends. And I stuck my finger in there last night and it was warm. So it actually works. So keep your buckets, keep your stuff in case of a late frost. That worked. That's awesome. Thanks for joining me.